good evening. Good evening. I'm standing up at this podium as well to express my displeasure over the proposed budget for the forthcoming school year. I have to say that, similar sentiment to Carol about putting this budget together in what appears to be such a hastily manner. It's only a couple of weeks, or a few weeks, to my understanding, that the board gets to review a budget of such great magnitude. And at the last Board of Ed meeting, I had asked, where is this proposed budget? And where is it made available? And Ms. Simmons mentioned that it would be available after the board votes to approve the submission. Well, it's only a handful of days that we get to review this budget, and I was lucky enough to stumble across the budget at the Board of Ed website. I have to tell you that the information, the way it's presented in that budget is, I hate to say this, but very misleading. It is very hard to discern that there is, in fact, a budget deficit. The only way I learned of the budget deficit was by attending the last Board of Ed meeting, whereby Ms. Seabrun mentioned that there was a $21 million budget deficit and that there was layoffs expected to occur. Surely if that was in the budget that was made publicly available, and people learned that there were going to be layoffs, surely this auditorium would be chock full of concerned people here tonight to talk about the budget and express their displeasure as well. So I find it really repugnant that the state restored funding for the school district, right? Last year, they had taken $40 million away, cut funding by $40 million, and that resulted in a sizable amount of layoffs. That's understood, right? Come September, 13 new administrators were promoted on the heels of such a massive layoff. Why is that? I mean, we're in pretty dire economic times. It's the worst recession since the Great Depression, and it's like devoid of reality, this school budget, in terms of sharing the pain of the public, the taxpayers, with massive unemployment, taxes skyrocketing. Your funding comes from us. We're experiencing great economic hardship, and yet the budget is increasing and there's layoffs occurring. And why are there layoffs occurring? Because $11 million of that deficit is attributable to pay increases and increase in benefits and salary. I just find that really galling. So at the last Board of Ed meeting, which was last week, just a few days ago, less than a week ago, right? The board had solicited the public's opinion, requesting their help in evaluating this budget. As I mentioned to you, that budget is really hard to decipher. Granted, this one that you showed us now has a little bit more detail, but it's at the 11th hour. Having said that, I have rolled up my sleeves and done a little bit of homework, garnishing information from other public sources. And I'd like to provide you with some recommendations on how we can address that $21 million budget deficit. Keep in mind that prior to last year's teachers' layoffs and this year's potential teachers' layoffs, our school district has one of the highest turnovers in school teachers across the state. If that's not a dire picture, I don't know what it is. So, since we're talking about staffing, let me shine a little bit of light on the administration. You have 6 assistant superintendents that collectively pull in a base salary of almost $1 million. Why we need 6 assistant superintendents, I really don't know. when Dr. Epps has 9 assistants sitting beside him.
Thank you, your time is up. We have to move on 2 pages here of speakers, so we have to move on.
I still have a minute and 30.
No, we want to hear more. We want to hear more.
You have 3 directors of special projects, 2 coordinators of substance abuse, which is in addition to counselors that we have, 12 learning disability teacher consultants that are employed at the head office.
The time ran out?
Yeah.
The time ran out. I don't know, something's wrong with the clock, but I saw it said 0, 0, 0.
Zero because it beat.
It did beat, the beat went off. I'm sorry, we gotta move ahead. We gotta fix the clock first, that's for sure.
How about you finish your thoughts?
Our next speaker is Jeff Kaplowitz.
How about you finish your thoughts when I finish the clock?
We need to have the clock ready.
Well, you really need to have an honest dialogue with the public about the school budget and make it more transparent and more public involvement. I mean, limiting me to approximately 5 minutes to speak and then cutting me off. I mean, come on.
I'd be happy to give him my 5
A lot of
minutes.
speakers, we have to get them.
Do you want my 5 minutes, Peter?
That's sure.
You could have it when you're
Is
done.
the clock fit?
Yes.